So this video is going to be about the Korg Electribe 2. In this case, it's just going to be about kind of using it as a drum machine. Just going to press trigger here, and what that means is we can trigger any of these 16 parts, okay? Okay, so if you want to change any of these sounds, all of these controls apply per instrument. So if I press this, it's just going to apply to any of these. So we're just going to start off here, and if you turn oscillator, it changes the sample. Hold down shift, turn oscillator, and then it will switch between the different libraries. Now if we want to change the pitch, like just turn this. Also we have edit, and that just changes whatever, depends on whatever sampler sound you're working with. Like this one's an overdrive. So you can, make some changes just by turning that. Next we have filter. That works independently, okay? So we have low pass, high pass, and band pass. I'm just going to use low pass for now. And then there's resonance. Change the cutoff and the resonance to kind of mold the sound of what you're working with. And here is envelope generator intensity. And that brings it right over to here, which is the attack, decay, and release. So if we want it to apply to the volume, you just press this, okay? So the attack will fade in or be immediate, okay? Decay is this way. Now decay, when it's going this way, just depends on how fast it lets go. If you go to the right-hand side, that's release, so that's going to kind of fade out the sound. So you can kind of change any of the sounds in that way. Now what I want to do is press sequencer, okay? So now that changes these pads. If I press sequencer, now we're looking at steps 1 through 8, 9 through 16, okay? The blue right here, let's actually turn that off. This blue light right here indicates that when we're in trigger, we're on that hi-hat sound, okay? So let's imagine the blue is being in the background. We have the red ones that are up front. The red ones means it's going to trigger that sound, okay? So I'm going to press play here. You're going to see another blue light indicating what step is playing here. Okay, so I just made just a standard beat here. Now what I can do is go to trigger, let's press record and just play some beats. Let's go in a part mute here. When I press that, we're still looking at all the different parts here. And let's say we want to turn off everything except for the hi-hat. So let's just do that. So that just muted all of those parts, okay? Let's turn them back on. Let's say there's a part we don't want anymore. So we want to erase it. I'm pressing part erase. So that's the crash here. So let's get rid of it. All you have to do, it's kind of like pressing erase while we're listening to it. So we're going to press play. Now I'm holding that down. And now we don't hear the crash. So if I let go, then it's gone. You can do that anywhere on here. Okay. So back to sequencer here. We can actually see if you hold down sequencer and press a part. So as you can see, that blue light indicates we're on the kick now. So if I press play, then we're looking at what I played. you can switch over, let's say, to the snare, okay? And now it's showing those notes, and so on. So we can go all over and just manually sequence it, or we can just press trigger and then press record and then add whatever we wanted. Now I'm on that part. Let's say turn it down because it's so loud. So I can actually just turn the volume down, which is this one here. Now the claps here, let's add some effects to it. So I want to make it say have a delay. So you just press this. This will turn on and enable the effects. It has a whole bunch of different ones. So I'm going to go turn it until I see a delay. Okay, there's a delay sound. So I'm going to change edit, and that's going to increase the amount. So depending on what effects you're using, it'll modify it accordingly. So let's press play. Let's say while that's happening, I want to turn that down even more. So I'm just going to turn the amp down. The pitch of it while that's happening. So now I'm just going to show you how motion works on here. So I'm going to press play, and starting off with a new beat here, let's just press record, and then what I'm going to do is turn the pitch while I play the kick drum. So let's just see what happens. Okay, you might not be able to hear that if you're not listening to headphones. So what we're going to do now is look at modulation. So I'm going to have this little snare sound. Let's see what we can do with it. So what I'm going to do first is like turn the pitch down just so it kind of lengthens out so we can hear some changes here. So modulation, when you turn this, you're going to see first off the source and then where it's going to be applied. So for example, I'm going to change this to pitch. Okay, you might not be able to see this on the screen. What that means is it's going to apply whatever it says first to it. So if I hold down shift and turn this knob, it's going to stay on pitch, and then we're going to change it to, for example, LFO try, because that's just a triangle wave, and now it's going to apply it to the pitch. So that's all that means. So I have that set, and then we have right here is the depth. So that means how much it's going to change. If you turn that up, you can hear how much we're going to apply to that pitch. Okay? And then we have speed. Now, what that means is you'll hear it. The rate will change. I'm going to turn this all the way up so you can hear. You can go really fast or make it really slow. So you have all of those different sonic sounds. And that's just one of the shapes. So if you change the shape, for example, to maybe square up, so you can apply this, say, to the filter, to a bunch of different parts of the synth. So that's what the modulation is. Really cool function, because now we can really start molding our sounds in strange ways. You know, in combination with the filter, we started off with that snare sound, and look what we did to it. And also, let's say we're playing through here, we want to change some of these sounds, just press record. So it records every motion. When it's done with that step, it'll turn off. So let's say we want to change something else on here. Let's change the speed of that square effect here on the modulation. Press record. Now I just recorded that edit sound. I can flip through the different effects until I find something I like.